How do? Welcome back to Edgar TV. Today we're going to be looking at PDC Tour cards. Top 64 players get to keep their cards. Those outside will lose them. And this year we got some big players with some big reputations, some big history, potentially dropping off the PDC Pro Tour. Players who's reached major finals, won world championships, going to be dropping off the tour for next year, unless obviously they get them back at Q School or they do something at the back end of the year. We're going to highlight those players who you need to keep an eye on in the business end of the year. This is when the majors are. This is where the last Players Championships will be. 10 Pro Tours to go and a handful of Europeans, and then those big TV titles where the big movers and shakers will be. I'm also going to do a video in the next couple of days where you can make sure you're subscribed to Edgar TV, because on this video I'm going to be giving you players that you may not have noticed, players you may not have heard of too much, players that haven't been highlighted. I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to give you the 5 players to keep an eye on at the back end of this year and why. So make sure you subscribe to that one. However, the big thing here is players who could lose their cards. Vincent van der Voort, the first player we're going to highlight as a player who could lose his card, currently £25,000 short of being able to keep hold of his card. And when we look at the World Championship race, he's currently 68th, £7,500 off. Now this would be a big story. This would be the first time that Vincent van der Voort has not been with a PDC Tour card. He joined the PDC in 2007 and has been ever present. The Tour card originated in 2011 when Vincent van der Voort did pick up a Tour card. He did have a good few years, won 3 Pro Tours, he's won a European Tour, and he was a runner-up of the UK Open back in 2007. If Vincent van der Voort loses his card, do you know what? I could imagine Vincent van der Voort not going to Q School. He's got opportunities to do some punditry and different work over in Holland. He's had issues with his back. He's had issues with his love for the game at times. I won't be surprised to see Vincent van der Voort drop away should he lose his card. Someone I think would go to Q School, someone I think would do well and get straight back on the tour would be Mervyn King. But at the moment, Mervyn King, outside of those places, £17,000 away from the cutoff and not in the Players' Championships or the World Championships. That's where you need to be. He's 54th at the moment on those, £5,000 away. Just like Vincent van der Voort, been an ever-present since 2011 when the tour card was insinuated, and he's had 7 runner-ups in big events: the Grand Prix, the Premier League, the Players' Championship finals twice, the Masters twice, and the Champions League. So he would be a big miss. He's a big character as well as Mervyn King. He would have the opportunity to do seniors. He would no doubt do modus, so he would see a lot of Mervyn King should he lose his card. But I think he'd win it straight back. That's what I think the map and the pathway here for Mervyn King is. I think he loses his tour card and then wins it straight back at Q School. So he'd reset, he'd go back to 0. Sometimes that helps and benefits. We've seen it help players in the past. Barneveld talks about it. I can vouch for this as someone who's had this system as well and lived that, where you lose the card, win it straight back, start from 0 again and do a lot better because you're not defending. So everything's a gain, everything's fun, everything's positive. So we see that sometimes in the negative. Look at Josh Rock now defending and not playing kind of like he was when everything was sort of adding on to it. So that's like a different dynamic that needs to be dealt with. Jayne Rodriguez, somebody who really benefited from that system, but right now could be without a card once again. Roby John's had a good couple of years with his card, but the last 1 or 2 hasn't quite gone his way. Now, the benefit for Roby John at the moment is he would be in the Grand Slam of darts. That's £5,000 and an opportunity to earn more. If he can get himself up on that Pro Tour Order of Merit, get into some European tours, get into those Players' Championship finals or World Championship positions, that could be a big telling factor in order to keep Jayne Rodriguez his card. However, question marks hanging over him. No question marks hanging over Adrien Lewis, the 2-time world champion, the UK Open champion, the winner of the European Tour. 4 TV titles to his name, but a tour card is something we're expecting not to see to his name. He's already said next year his intentions are to play the Moda Super Series. We could see him, though, in the World Championship qualifier. This is something that he has said he is looking at doing. Now, should he do this and reach the semi-final of the World Championship, he would keep his card. But that's a big ask. He would have to reach the semi-final of the World Championship in order to keep his tour card. The likelihood is, after not playing for so long, getting through the World Championship qualifier is probably going to be hard enough. So making the semi-final, I think, is not going to happen here for Adrien Lewis. And I think Adrien Lewis will be out of a tour card position. Jamie Hughes. 2018, he got his tour card finally at Q School. He had a couple of attempts, did well on the Challenge Tour, got his card in 2018. Since then, he managed to pick up a European title in 2019, played in all the majors. He's been on the tour, a bit of an ever-present, but not in the Players' Championships, not in the Worlds. Currently out on countback at the moment, but needs to find £4,000 on his ranking in order to close the gap on the players in the World Championship positions. So they're the main ones to keep an eye on. Now, they're the players outside of positions at the moment, but there are players in position who have got some work to do. Mensur Suljovic is doing lots of work. He's doing fantastic. Mensur Suljovic is reeling it back. He was one of my tips to lose a card. However, he's now in the Grand Slam. He's in the Players' Championship finals. He's in the World Championships. So that's guaranteed money coming at the end of the year and has currently got himself into a position. The man who won the Champions League in 2017, an iconic World Match Play final with Gary Anderson in 2018. Mensur Suljovic, for me, I think does it. He's not going to lose first round of all those TV tournaments, so that's going to potentially give him a big jump in regards to his order of merit as well. So I do think that we're going to see Mensur Suljovic with a card next year. But there's another one. There's one just to keep an eye on. Currently safe. Currently well safe. But that could all go wrong, and it could go wrong very quickly. Currently in no majors. That is the Players' Championship Finals, Slam, Grand Prix, World Championships, in none of them. Simon Whitlock. Simon Whitlock could be in a spot of bother. As it stands, he's safe by just £5,000. Now, that might seem a lot, but remember, we've got Pro Tours, we've got European Tours, and those majors. And 6 players currently below him are in the Players' Championship Finals and the World Championships. He's also not qualified currently for any of the European tours. So, again, players below him will have opportunity to jump in while he's not getting a chance to play. Simon Whitlock is one to keep an eye on because he is in a genuine threat here of potentially losing his card. World Championship runner-up, the winner of the European Championships, a big, big name player, very recognisable. He would be a major casualty to the tour. Like Mervyn King, I think if he was to lose his card, I think he'd go to Q School and get it straight back. However, he is one to keep an eye on and certainly one for the list. Who do you think is a big name? There's a lot of players potentially losing cards. Obviously, we lose, about 30-odd players, don't you? 25, 30 players every single year. They go to Q School, got a chance to get it back. Who do you think is a story who we should be keeping an eye on and following towards the back end of the year? And obviously, don't forget, we'll be following those positive stories as well. I'll be giving you that list of players to keep an eye on, so make sure you're subscribed. Please do pop a like on this video. It helps me out massively. I will catch you soon for some more Edgar TV, where we'll be tracking these players.